History is full of firsts.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Many of those firsts shaped our way of life. For 70 years, KPRC Channel 2 has been proud to be pioneers in shaping television and Houston history.
In a state the size of Texas, everyone can enjoy.
Causing the storms Thursday. Minutes before 9 o'clock, the crew's here telling her.
For the first time in a long, they had 11. See the sum of your pay.
Isn't it good to work for a place that has a sense of history? And indeed it is.
See, taking the president from Spring to College Station following his
If you have something you'd like Channel 2 Investigates to check out, call the tip line at 713-223-TIPS or email investigates@click2houston.com. Live from KPRC, this is Channel 2 News at 10.
A showdown in South Carolina. Voters head to the polls for the first primary in the South as Democratic presidential candidates push for more votes ahead of Super Tuesday. That push coming to the Bayou City tonight. Elizabeth Warren rallying supporters over at Discovery Green. Good evening and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jonathan Martinez.
And I'm Sion Rhodes. The race for the White House taking a turn in the Palmetto State with 90% of the votes in. Former Vice President Joe Biden is projected to win South Carolina by a landslide. He took 48% of the vote. Senator Bernie Sanders coming in second with 19.9%. Tom Steyer and Mayor Pete Buttigieg coming in third and fourth in this primary.
NBC's Jay Gray in the capital state of Columbia there in the capital of Columbia with a closer look at the results and what it could mean moving forward.
It's the first chance to really celebrate for Joe Biden and his supporters.
And we are very much alive.
After disappointing results in Iowa, New Hampshire, and Las Vegas, the former vice president is projected to be the big winner in South Carolina.
All of those who've been knocked down, counted out, left behind, this is your campaign.
Bernie Sanders is expected to finish second when all the votes are counted here.
You cannot win them all.
He and the others in the race now turning their attention and efforts to Super Tuesday.
And I believe very strongly that the people of this country on Super Tuesday and after are going to support our campaign.
Our work starts now. Here I am headed into Super Tuesday.
My campaign is built for the long haul, and we are looking forward to these big contests.
I am proud of the votes we earned, and I am determined to earn every vote on the road ahead.
A road that will not include Tom Steyer, the billionaire, suspending his campaign but promising to continue working for change.
When the Lord closes a door, he opens a window. I will find that window and crawl through it with you.
The window of opportunity for those still in the race opening wide now to the 14 states that vote on Tuesday. Jay Gray, NBC News, Columbia, South Carolina.
From South Carolina to the Lone Star State, Senator Elizabeth Warren campaigning tonight for a crowd over at Discovery Green.
The rally comes just days before Houstonians head to the polls for Super Tuesday. Channel 2 Sally Mamdou live with the push to get votes here in the Bayou City.
Hey, Sion, hundreds of people showed up today at Discovery Green Park to show their support for Elizabeth Warren. And Elizabeth Warren, when she started her speech, she said she needs each and every one of these people behind her for Super Tuesday. Presidential hopeful and University of Houston alumni Elizabeth Warren in Houston Saturday, hoping to get as many supporters as she can ahead of Super Tuesday.
2020 is your chance to choose a president, and I'm ready to get to work.
Her speech didn't just address her plans for the country that range from canceling student debt and raising wages, but addressed growing concerns over the coronavirus that she says the Trump administration isn't doing much about.
This is a time for honest leadership that respects science, that draws on serious experts, and that delivers real results. This is both a public health crisis and a potential economic crisis.
Hundreds of supporters gathered to Discover Green Park to cheer Warren on.
Well, I'm actually still undecided, so the best thing you can do is just educate yourself.
I've just always loved her. She's great. I think she has the right idea of what's wrong with our country.
And the reason why I support her is because of her student loan policy, her racial justice policy.
Among Warren's biggest supporters, Harris County Judge Lena Hidalgo.
2 years ago, I dreamt that I could be here, and you guys helped make it happen. And now I'm asking you to help dream with me, to imagine the day that big leather chair is rolled out of the White House and Elizabeth Warren sits in her chair.
Warren is hoping her visit in Houston that typically leans more blue is enough for the primaries.
I am asking for your vote. If you think we need both progressive ideas and progressive results, then go to ElizabethWarren.com, pitch in $5, sign up to volunteer, and join us.
Warren's next stop is expected to be in Alabama. We're live in downtown Houston. Sally Memdu, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Sally, thank you. New developments tonight in the coronavirus crisis. The first death in the U.S. has been confirmed in Washington state. The man who died was in his 50s and was being treated at a hospital in King County. This, as the Centers for Disease Control says, it's responding to the first possible outbreak of the virus at a long-term care center in Washington. More than 50 people at that facility have symptoms associated with the virus. Following that announcement, President Trump announcing new travel restrictions to hard-hit areas in Italy and South Korea.
The Archdiocese of Galveston-Houston expressing concerns about the coronavirus as well. Today, it issued an advisory to churches to stop using the chalice during Holy Communion. It's urging the churches to only distribute Holy Communion under the form of the host. These changes, they say, will reduce physical contact during Mass and minimize the risk of a potential virus spread. And if you're sick, the Archdiocese says you should stay at home. It says you are not obligated to go to Sunday Mass.
Tonight, an accused predator is behind bars. A 30-year-old man accused of sexually assaulting a victim of human trafficking has been arrested. Nathaniel Charles is now charged with online solicitation of a minor and aggravated sexual assault of a child. According to Harris County Precinct 1 constables, Charles messaged the 13-year-old girl while they were interviewing her after she said she was a victim of human trafficking. During that interview, she said Charles had assaulted her and he asked to meet again. Investigators went to that meetup in her place and arrested him.
11 people were hurt after this bus rolled over. That crash blocking 3 lanes on 610 North Loop near Airline Drive earlier today. That bus left from Dallas to bring a band production crew here for a concert. 5 people were treated for minor injuries. Now, this crash could have been a lot worse if that bus rolled off the road. It was stopped by plastic barricades. As the bus hit the barricades, they collapsed, creating a ramp for the front of the bus to rest on.
I myself say those tubings is what protected a lot of people from being harmed today. Had it not been there, it's possible not only that bus would have been a tragedy, there'd been a few other vehicles as well.
Now, investigators do not know how or why the driver veered off the road.
A citywide water boil notice has been lifted following Thursday's massive water main break in East Houston. The city announced that the water is safe to drink just before noon today. If you haven't already done so, make sure you flush your water system by running cold water for at least 1 minute. Also, clean out your automatic ice machine and run water softeners through a regeneration cycle. City officials say a contractor was trying to repair a water line on Clinton Drive and the East Loop when it burst. Repairs on that line are expected to last through next week. An exciting day for the Harris County Constable Precinct 4's office. A grand opening was held for the Harris County Bridgestone Mud Substation on Kirkendall near Rhodes Road. The constable says this substation will service more than 20,000 citizens.
Still ahead tonight, a health concern at the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo.
What you need to know if you or a loved one visited that annual event.
And the clouds will slowly start increasing throughout the night tonight. Notice that the temperatures don't drop, though. We'll hold in the low 60s and then get ready for more sunshine and more spring-like temperatures for your Sunday. But a cold front's lurking. I'll tell you what changes that will bring coming up.
And a Maryland man behind bars tonight after police say he attacked a woman in the grocery store. The weapon he allegedly used. Next on Channel 2 News at 10.
What's the difference?
Caught on camera an assault at a Maryland grocery store. That's where police say a man stabbed a woman with a syringe. Surveillance video showing the man following the woman into the cart area and then bumping into her. The woman sought medical attention right after that attack, telling officers she thought that she was assaulted with the syringe. Police say they tested syringes gathered as evidence and found semen inside of them. The man is now charged with assault and reckless endangerment.
A health alert at the height of the rodeo in San Antonio. The Texas Department of State Health Services warning people that they may have been exposed to a rabid cow at the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo. A cow that was being shown and stayed in the cattle barn developed rabies. Anyone who may have been in contact with that cow could have been exposed. Officials say you should be tested for rabies exposure if you visited that rodeo between February 11th and 14th. Rabies can be prevented if treatment is started before symptoms begin, but when symptoms start, it's almost always fatal. All right, looking ahead to weather, a picture-perfect Saturday out there. A live look at the Southwest Freeway. It's jam-packed on this Saturday night. Justin's got the full forecast coming up. It's my favorite music. We are just days away from one of the Bayou City's biggest events, the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo.
And she also plays the guitar there.
Yes, I do. Air guitar.
And to officially kick things off, people put on their boots and saddled up their horses for the annual parade a bit earlier today. Thousands lining the streets of downtown to see the horses, their riders, and the floats. Rodeo scholars, both past and present, leading the way as the grand marshals.
Another sign that it is rodeo season. The annual World's Championship Barbecue Contest wrapping up tonight. More than 250 teams firing up their grills and smokers for the competition. The rodeo tonight declaring overall grand champion Fayette County. Go Texan.
Big question, do they deliver? That's what I want to know right now.
Oh, I'll tell you what, they delivered a win because not only, I think they won one category and then they won overall champion because he had just, I was watching it on Twitter, Rodeo Houston put it up, he had just gone up and then they turned around and then he came back and they won the whole thing.
Hardware, yeah.
I know, that is, so
Very
you know
nice.
what, kudos to them, very good, yeah. All right, let's check it out, guys. Temperatures today, not too bad. We got 76, 75 at Hobby. Galveston was sitting at right around 70 degrees, so certainly no record-setting heat, but still, it was warm out there. We should be right around 69. We've been a little warmer than that. Right now, we're still sitting in the 60s. One of the reasons why. Haven't seen the winds change this much. Notice right off the Gulf, and you get that Gulf wind, increases a little bit of chance of cloud cover, which we'll see overnight, but it also is going to continue to keep these temperatures up. We'll see some upper 50s sprinkled in throughout the rest of the overnight hours, too, but there's not going to be much change. And in fact, watch Futurecast as we take it, roll through the night here. Notice that the clouds start to increase. Now, what you're seeing, and I mentioned this earlier this evening, is that all of this out here, these little green blobs, are likely just an increase in moisture in the actual cloud cover in the atmosphere itself. The computer thinks, oh, if I've got this much moisture in the cloud, that needs to turn into a shower. That doesn't always translate to what is actually going to fall. However, I do think as we get in towards the afternoon, we could see a couple of streamer showers moving in from the Gulf there. That's about it. So I'm going to put about a 20% chance in for tomorrow. If you're going out tomorrow, if you're going to set up or take down the tents, out down towards Rodeo, I don't think it's going to be much of an issue. Temperatures will likely be in the upper 60s to low 70s. And in fact, here's the reason why. Not much out there now. We've got our next storm system just starting to cross the Cascade Mountains, moving into the Rockies, and that's going to swing on through here as we get in towards Monday, Tuesday's time frame. And a lot of this Pacific moisture is going to get tapped into as well. So there's a chance that we could see some let's say, elevated rain chances as we get to Tuesday, Wednesday. So the majority of what we'll see on Monday is just going to be real kind of like spit showers. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, that front just slowly sags southward. It's going to be a slow mover. And we'll see another little low kind of develop on the tail end of that. And when they get close to the coast like that, they can really grab onto some of that Gulf moisture, which obviously can really beef up our rain chances. And that's kind of what the computers are responding to. So I think between there, here, all the way moving over towards the I-10 corridor and just south of Atlanta, we could be looking at a potential for some widespread heavier chances for rain. Not necessarily it's going to be everywhere, but it is necessarily out there. Now, this is what it looks like when we talk about how much the rain totals might come through. Notice by Tuesday, a majority of that is all just about a half an inch, but it's really as we get into Tuesday to Wednesday, as that secondary low slides through, that's where we're starting to pick up those 2-3 inch potentials. Most of it looks like it's going to be north of the metro area. And then, unfortunately, slicing its way over into spots that don't need any more rain as well. Alabama, parts of Mississippi that are still dealing with flooding from the last big rain event a couple of weeks ago. So there's that 20%. I'm going to keep it there for Monday. Ramp it up to 40 to 50 Tuesday, Wednesday. That clears out as we get in towards the end of next week and next weekend. So starting off for rodeo, it'll be a little on the sloppy side, but I think by the time we get to Thursday, Friday, and of course, the first rodeo weekend, we should be looking A-OK. And of course, Canberra Marshall will be here first thing tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Get you out the door with Miss Sophia, Mr. Jacob as well, and whatever kind of other fun things they have for your Sunday morning starting bright and early.
It'll involve food, I'm sure. Always good.
And it won't be here by the time we all get in.
No. It'll be here.
Thanks a lot for that, Justin.
All right, Vanessa, talk about sports.
Lots of basketball today, high school, college. We're going to talk about the Rockets and the Houston Dynamo opening their season against the LA Galaxy. That's next. I'll talk about sports.
Electricity for less.
Welcome into the Xfinity Sports Desk tonight. Here's what's happening. Well, after an active offseason, a lot of new guys on the squad, the Houston Dynamo opened their season today against a tough opponent as they hosted Chicharito Hernandez and the LA Galaxy. The LA Galaxy going to get on the board first at BBVA. Christian Pavone with the goal. Galaxy lead at this point 1-0. But second half, who else but Mauro Manotos? This goal levels the game, and that one ends in a draw, 1-1. Great environment, sold-out crowd. The Dynamo play Kansas City next Saturday, and Ari Alexander was there for more.
The season opener and home opener for the Houston Dynamo could have gone better, but not by much. Tab Ramos' first game, a draw with a solid LA Galaxy team, and a big, excited crowd here at BBVA Stadium for a game that might signal a different look for the Dynamo this season.
Loved it. It was amazing. You know, so thankful that so many people came out to this game. I think it was a great atmosphere to play in. It was exciting. It was exciting for me to coach it. It was exciting for the players to play it. So I think it was a great day.
The Dynamo started slow, giving up a quick goal, but it may have worked in their favor, according to international star Chicharito.
The other team, I think after the 20 minutes, they start playing much better. They start to control a little bit more the game, but I think the first 20 minutes were very good for us.
I really felt that after the first 10, maybe 15 minutes, that we really were the team on the field that had the ball and were going after the result.
With the Dynamo, Ari Alexander, KPRC, Channel 2 Sports.
Thanks, Ari. Well, the Rockets announced yesterday they officially signed Jeff Green for the rest of the season. And today, that small ball lineup took on the Boston Celtics. We're going to see them on the road. Let's jump late to the fourth. Here's P.J. Tucker on the miss and Westbrook on the putback slam. He had 41 on the night. Rockets up 101-95. 13 seconds left on the clock. Rockets put up by 4 now. Marcus Smart would shoot and prayer, and he drains at 102-101 Rockets. Westbrook was able to make a couple of free throws, and the Rockets are going to win this one in overtime by 1. Congrats to the Houston Rockets on that one. All right, TCU 3-10 their last 13 games. Baylor gets off to a hot start. Freddie Gillespie rolls to the rim, gets the easy dunk as Baylor leads 19-12. But here comes Desmond Bane. Pump fake and a big-time shot. 2 consecutive threes for Bane, and all of a sudden it's just a 3-point game. Baylor gets back within 3, but completely forgets about P.J. Fuller in their full-court press. Fuller gets the clinching dunk to put the ice on this one. TCU gets the upset 75-72. And Clear Springs taking on Cy Creek in the regional championship. Third quarter, Chargers just trying to keep it close. Kenna Gibson buries the 3. They would cut the lead to single digits. check out Side Creek's Kendall Hunter. Man, she's awesome. Nails the 3. Side Creek pulls away to win this one 60-40. Time to celebrate a regional championship.
To get to this point, and you know, from the beginning, well, from last year, February 22nd, that loss, you know, in the regional semi has stuck with us, and these kids have just, you know, carried that with them and remembered that feeling, and didn't want to feel that again. So to be headed back to San Antonio is a dream.
Those girls are undefeated on the season, Side Creek, and they're
Good for her.
so much fun to watch.
She got a good-looking shot, man. Things good.
Pretty talented.
Pretty good.
Yeah, and their
out there.
point guard, Rory Harmon, her footwork is unreal. So, yeah, they're fun.
Nice. Very cool.
Congrats to Side Creek.
Thanks, Vanessa.
Congrats. Boy, didn't it look beautiful over at BBVA this afternoon, too? Nice. I'm telling you what, and it looked real nice. So, let's see. Tomorrow, probably a little more cloud cover, but still should be A-OK. Sabercats are playing tomorrow, so go out and support them if you get a chance. Otherwise, rodeo kicking off a little wet, but by the time we get to the end of the week and into the weekend, it's going to be looking really nice.
Spring is coming.
That's right.
Oh, this guy during the parade. Oh, thank me for the weather. Thank me for the weather.
Sounds like Cambrell. He wants to get paid.
Bowing down to Justin today.
You did that.
They literally
You did
were.
that.
They asked me.
It was all him. No, it was him. We thank you. SNL's next.
Have a great night.